Welcome to the Streets Won't Forget podcast. We're back. First one of the season whilst games have been playing. I'm Dodzi, your host, and today I'm joined with Louie, and I'm very happy, man. Today, watched my team. Well, I actually didn't watch my team, but I caught up on it. Amazing turn of events in the last 10 minutes of the Arsenal versus Man United match. 3-1, and there's no other place we're going to start. We're going to start with that game. Louis, what do you think of that game? Because obviously we were in dialogue in the group chat, and at times it didn't seem like you were that impressed by Arsenal, but Arsenal got the 3 points in the end. So
I won.
Overall, give me your a lot to take in from that game. But your thoughts, man?
My thoughts are I weren't really too impressed by Arsenal, and I ain't gonna sit here and say United played like incredibly well, but in terms of executing a game plan, look, Arsenal had the better quality of chances and the better quality of play overall, but I felt like on the balance of the game, I never felt like Arsenal were gonna win it in a weird way. I always felt like Arsenal controlled the flow of the game, but United, I always felt like we're always going to get a point or win that game. Personally, that's how I felt, and I know that's how a lot of the Arsenal boys in the chat felt as well. So, unfortunate turn of events in terms of Martinez having to go off injured, and then Lindelof having to go off injured, and then having to play Maguire and Evans. And to be honest, man, like neither of them played bad, but and I said this to Ralph. I said something's going to happen. And it ain't going to be either of their fault, but it will be their fault, innit? Because even if they don't make a mistake or they don't do anything, just the fact that they're on the pitch together, it don't bring confidence to the rest of the team.
Yeah, the presence.
And the presence ain't there. And like it's not like Lindelof and Martinez as a partnership is amazing, but at least they've got the technical quality to get you out of holes if they've got the ball. Whereas Evans and Maguire, I think Manan turns quicker than both of them. But look, Maguire was all right when he came on. I thought he was aggressive. I thought he commanded quite well. But yeah, it was a little bit of a weird one, to be honest, because I feel like the way the game went, it made it more of a talking point than it was going to. And we know how United fans are. They're very emotional. And then obviously there was comments after the game between managers and players and stuff like that, which sort of led the discourse. And there's always some sort of diagnostic thing with United fans where they're like, oh, this went wrong because of this and that. But on the face of it, Garnacho's goal stands. United probably win that game 2-1. And then the discourse is Arsenal aren't at it, blah blah blah. One season wonders, etc. And then it's like, oh, United, the season starts now, 9 points, like in a total race, whatever. Like it's the very, very fine margins, and it was a very, very fine margin. It was literally a hair length. And I felt bad for Garnacho, man, because look, he came on and he was really positive, and he made an amazing run, and he took the goal so well under pressure. Once again proving that maybe not ready to start yet in terms of the impact on the games, but off the bench he's him. But it's just really annoying because I think we're looking at it as a very, very professional away performance if United even get a point from that game. And then we're kind of asking questions of Arsenal because they're the home team. And for large parts of the game, especially in the first half, they let United have the ball. It wasn't like United did a lot with the ball. But I think Onana had like 50 touches or something, which is mad. So, yeah, it was a weird one. I'm not sure on either team this year. I think Arsenal have that mentality where they're never out of the game. But I do feel like in knockout formats, I do feel like United will be a lot better just because of the transitional threat they've got. Whereas Arsenal, I feel like basically United will. If teams attack United, they're fine to sit back and hit on the counter. I feel like if teams get out Arsenal, they're not going to like that. They need to be on the ball. They need to be feeling the ball. So I feel like if you come up against the Madrids or the Bayerns who are going to dominate the ball, I feel like United can cause them more threat on the transitions than what Arsenal can. That's not to say Arsenal can't threaten transitions because I thought, especially in that game, the likes of Rice, the likes of Martinelli did really well. I thought Odegaard was quiet second half, but first half obviously made his mark with his signature finish. Jesus was really good when he came on, and Nketiah was really quiet.
Mm.
Um, and from a defensive standpoint, I think that's your best back four. And I know White got cooked, but Rashford, when he's on it and playing on the left, will cook most fullbacks in the league, most right backs. But that back four has your best balance. I think Gabriel and Saliba together is one of the best, if not the best, centre back partnerships in the world. So there's no reason to break that up. I don't know what Arteta was thinking with putting Gabriel on the bench. Martial didn't really cause them any problems. I think Haaland, when he came on, was exceptional in terms of getting into the centre backs and giving them something to think about. And if you could combine Martial and Haaland, you'd have an elite striker. But unfortunately, that's not how football works.
Yeah. I think Haaland, if he started the game, who knows? Maybe it would have been you would have had more threat going forward. Yeah, the bits I caught of the first half, I was seeing a lot of United with the ball at just between Lindelof and Martinez. I don't know if the plan was to sucker us in so you can get Rashford in behind or Anthony if he can run in behind, but it was a bit of a weird one. A bit of a stale first like half an hour or so. But no, look, I'm gonna be honest here. I agree. Like, emotions. It's a great win. Like to win in the 96th minute and then 11th minute, it seems like Emirates hasn't seen. It's probably one of the loudest you've heard Emirates when Rice scored that goal. However, we saw this last season with Arsenal. And I don't want to be too negative because obviously I'm an Arsenal fan. I want us to do well, but we did see when it turned into like we had the game against Bournemouth and an amazing winner from Nelson. We had the moment with Jorginho against Aston Villa, amazing sequence of events. But what you do see is that it's only that it's not necessarily it's good and bad. It's good because it shows that your team can pull through sticky situations, but it arguably papers over slight cracks because, as you said, yeah, if Garnacho scores that game, it scores that goal, and he's so close to scoring. As he said, he's an inch or whatever. It's a complete different outlook, and we're saying 7 points. 7 points out of 12, 5 points off City already. You're saying Arsenal are out of the title race, and you're saying Liverpool probably. You're saying it's a 2-horse race between them two, maybe. So,
and people are even saying, "Oh, United might if they can string some wins together in a title race."
Yeah, it would
no
have
one's
been
saying that.
Yeah, if United would have won that, you've broken the away curse as well. So, and the underlying stats for United this season, apart from that game, have been up there in terms of the best. So you're probably saying United are back in contention because that's what they can do when they're on it. So I don't know how to take in the game, to be honest. Like in terms of looking forward, I actually think the next two games for Arsenal crucial, man. Like Everton away, because last season we beat United at home, and then we went Everton away, we lost. And then the game after that, Spurs away, and Spurs are tails are up. We need to show that we're still, right, like in people's eyes, the team closest to catch Man City. We got to win them two games. But in terms of players, very impressed with Declan Rice. To be honest, I was a big doubt of Declan Rice. Big doubt. I'm not gonna lie. For a few years, I always thought Declan Rice had the tools. I thought he had the tools, but I just didn't think. I thought he could do so much more with them, which is crazy. But maybe it is because he was in that West Ham team. Maybe because he was playing with Souček and guys like that. But I love the way he's just come in. He's asserted himself at DM. No bedding in period. He doesn't really make a mistake on the ball. First few minutes of the game, he's snapping in challenges, like showing presence. And obviously, like I'm a big fan of Thomas Partey, but the thing I would give Declan Rice over Thomas Partey is Declan Rice has an absolute presence in that midfield. You can't really teach it. You can't really even say what it is. But when he's in that midfield, it's like it's a bit of you can't really go near him, man. You can't go past him. So really impressed with him.
He's a real man. That's what he is.
Yeah, have to say it. He's a real Man FC proper leader, man. Odegaard, good for him to get a goal. And I'd say Saka didn't have as good game as Martinelli. I thought Martinelli looked okay. Saka, not a good game.
Credit where it's due. Dallo had a really, really good game at left back. Really, really good game. Kept Saka really quiet. And maybe a fullback. Maybe this is going to be something that managers do going forward now, is playing a right footer on the left side and a left footer on the right side, because the wingers like to cut in. It allows the defender to defend with their strong foot. And most fullbacks these days, they're not up and down, whip crosses in there, invert, come in, play passes. So I think that's manufactured deliberately, because we've seen a lot in that game as well. With the 3-2-5 that you played in, the Zinchenko and Rice pivot. Zinchenko was out on the right of centre midfield and Rice was out on the left. So I think that was in Arteta's thinking as well, to Antony and Rashford are going to come inside. Them two can stop them coming inside by being defending on their strong foot. So maybe this is something that we're seeing tactically. We've seen Pep do it in the Champions League with Akanji at left centre-back. Maybe this is something managers are doing now, where these wingers that like to come inside, playing a fullback on their weaker side, so that when the winger cuts in, they're on their stronger side defending it.
Yeah, though, 100%. We see it, as you said, the Kanji last season gave Saka a tough day. Yeah, because I mean that's what he thrives on, coming inside. That's where we do need Ben White to go up a bit more. But when you've got Rashford in behind as well, it wasn't really the game for that. But we'll see. Still, if you want to look at the underlying numbers, he's still actually Arsenal's like top chance creator. He's top for key passes and all those stats. So I'm okay with Saka, to be fair, for now. 2 goals and assists this season. I'm okay with it. He started last season slow as well. But yeah, it's mad how things change, because as you said, Garnacho, if he scores that goal, are we even there's a discussion now about Jadon Sancho, and everyone's kind of saying, Ten Hag, what's going on? You've had Ronaldo now, and you've had Sancho now, and can you keep the dressing room? Are you a great man manager? People having doubts about his man management. People saying Ronaldo was possibly right, but obviously if Garnacho scores that goal, everyone's like, no, trust in Ten Hag. But let's get on to that. Sancho, he's wasn't in the squad. For apparently performances in training wasn't great. He came out yesterday, denied that. They said he'd been made a scapegoat. Has he been made a scapegoat in your eyes, or is Ten Hag right for dropping him completely from the squad this game?
One thing I will say is, usually I'll give the player the benefit of the doubt in this situation, but there's some things that have come out about Sancho on Twitter, where Southgate said he wasn't playing very well in training. Dortmund fined him for showing up late repeatedly. I know there was some comments that coaches at City made when he was a young player. So maybe it's just him. Like, bro, at the end of the day, bro got sent to the mountains for 3 months. Got sent on the Zen team. So I don't really think that we can say Ten Hag's been unfair on him, because how many other players in world football have been given 3 months off? How many people in general, not just footballers, have been given 3 months off by their boss and basically said, go off with your gal, have some time out, whatever. No one gets that paid. When you're on 350 bags a week, let's be real. So, look, there becomes a time where you have to deliver, and Ten Hag's side tried the soft, go off and have your time thing. Now he's kind of like, bro, you're not giving me anything. You're showing up to training. You're not applying yourself. You look overweight in preseason. You played well in preseason. Don't get me wrong, but bro's looking fat. He's not a naturally big guy. He's looking big.
Yeah.
I don't want to pile on him, because look, I'm sure things happened last year, and look, if it happened, I feel bad for him. Fine. I don't want to pile on. Not that me saying anything's going to affect it. He's never going to see this anyway. But I think there becomes a point where, and Mourinho summed it up very, very well with Dele Alli when he said it. There becomes a point in your life where 1 minute you're 21, the next day you're 40. And you look back to when you was 21 and you think, I wish I did these things. I wish I did those things. There'll be a time in Sancho's life, give it, might be 2 years, might be 5 years, might be 10, might be 20, and he'll look back and think, you know what? I wasn't trying hard enough in training. I wasn't showing up. I wasn't applying myself in games. I wasn't chasing the fullback back down the line. I was too interested in doing this and that and whatever, rather than kicking ball, bro. And ultimately, people who don't like Ten Hag are going to pick Sancho's side. People who think about it logically, maybe we'll see a bit of both, like I do. I don't think you should have singled him out in the media. But at the end of the day, when you think about it logically, it gave him 3 months off. Yes, maybe there's times where he got taken off when he shouldn't have gotten taken off. But from a manager's perspective, if you're sitting a guy who off the ball doesn't really contribute much, and this guy's supposed to be a baller on the ball. Look, we know he can do great things with football, but how often have we seen him beat a man? How often have we seen him make a killer pass? Not very often. Look, people talk about Anthony, but at least with Anthony, when he plays, you can tell he leaves it all on the fucking pitch, bro.
Yeah.
He leaves every single last drop of whatever he's got on the pitch. In terms of natural talent, Sancho clears Anthony. But in terms of application, Anthony leaves it all on the pitch. And, you know, you could say similarly to Sancho, Rashford sometimes doesn't leave it all on the pitch. But the thing is, Rashford gave you 30 goals last year. So that's his get out of jail free card. Sancho didn't even hit double figures in goals and assists. So, you know, look, if he has money in the bank, he can get away with not being great in training. If you're Rashford and you score 30 goals, you can not do well in training. But look, United fans really need to pick and choose their battles because they really hate Maguire. But first of all, when have you ever heard a manager come out and say he doesn't train well? He doesn't apply himself? You've never heard a manager say that about Maguire. And look, he's been shit on the pitch, but he's done more for Man United than what Jadon Sancho has, ultimately.
Yeah, been a better signing.
He's been a better signing. So, you know, pick and choose your battles. People taking Sancho's side, be careful what you wish for because you're going to get a manager come in that if Ten Hag goes and you're going to have the same cycle again and again and again and again. So you either back the manager wholeheartedly or you back the players. You know, you need to pick your poison. Ten Hag might not be the man, but how do we know he's not the man? You know, I don't think he's been given that fair of a crack at the whip. Look, there's question marks about the away form. There's question marks about money spent. But I remember having these question marks about Arteta. Maybe not the away form to the level of what it was, but Arteta's first couple seasons, eighth. Ten Hag's won a trophy and come third and was close to winning another trophy, was close to making a semi-final with another trophy, you know? So there's credit in the bank for him and he's earned that. So
yeah,
my message to United fans is be careful what you wish for. Personally.
No, I hear that fully. I think, yeah, the point about Sancho is like, he doesn't have much credit in the bank, you know. As we were saying in the group chat yesterday, fair enough with Rashford, he gives you 30 goals. He scored in the cup final. He's 5 years of hit and miss seasons, but at least he's had hit seasons. Sancho is his third season now. And yeah, he looked good in pre-season, and like maybe it's a bit unfair that he hasn't necessarily been starting games for United this season. But I don't know, man. Like, it is a weird one because leaving him out of the squad, I feel like you must have had to be drastically bad in training. You must have had to, like, I don't know, just absolutely not train. I remember when Pogba had that incident with Mourinho. I don't think he was left out of training, but he literally was visibly like arguing with Mourinho. Whereas Ten Hag exiled Sancho from the game when Sancho would have been beneficial for United in the game, whether it was a sub as a starter. I don't know about that one. But you don't agree?
Well, and this is, I'm not even trying to dig Sancho out here, right? But this is really poor for him because I didn't watch that game and at one point think, yeah, Sancho could come on and impact this game. I thought Garnacho. Kid's 19.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing for Sancho, bro.
Yeah,
you're
true.
23 years old. You're a former Champions League player. You're an England international. They haven't been for a long time, but you're an England international. And you were once probably the greatest prospect in the world. And now there's a 19-year-old kid off the bench who impacts games more than you.
Yeah. But
that's bad, bro.
How does this happen? Like at Dortmund, there's a strong argument. A lot of people saying it's him and not Haaland that's the main talent. So how's he come to United now? Like, and is just not. How is he just not in making squads?
Mm.
Like, how has he not been an England international since the Euros? Like, it used
Yeah.
to, as I said before, when Saka was starting games over him in the Euros, people were like, "What on earth's got with Sancho?" I mean, Southgate, have you not seen this guy's stats in Bundesliga? What's going on? When he wasn't starting games for England in general, people were saying, "What's going on?" So how, like, there must be something about the Man United environment, which
Yeah, and
just allows players to just kind of down tools a bit, man.
I would agree, but then it's three managers now, four if you include Southgate, who have seen him in training and thought, ah, you
Yeah.
know, Ollie fought tooth and nail to sign him and then didn't play him.
Mm.
Um, Rangnick, when Rangnick came, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Sanchez gonna cook." This guy knows how to get attacking players. Play it. Was dead.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's come in. Everyone's like, attacking coach, Ajax. He's gonna love Sanchez. Sanchez loves the ball at his feet. He knows how to play them little intricate passes. Doesn't want to play him.
Yeah.
Southgate. There's questions on whether he picks players on merit or not. But once you're in with Southgate, you're in with Southgate. And Sancho's never got in with Southgate.
Mm. Yeah.
So either his personality doesn't click, he's
Mm.
not training well, or he's just not that good. And I don't think it's the latter because we know he's good. We've seen that at Dortmund. We've seen that in flashes at United.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a combination of the former two. Maybe his personality's a bit, yeah. I don't know the guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
There might be that, and there might be a case of he's not applying himself in training. Maybe he's unserious.
Mm.
There was a video of him vaping, I think last season or the season before. He
Yeah.
just strikes me as someone who's very unserious, and I don't think the whole Twitter stuff's helped. But at the end of the day, bro, just stay off Twitter then.
Yeah. Stay off it. I don't know. I just don't get how you can be a professional at Dortmund and do so well there, and at United you're unprofessional. Is Sancho maybe not actually that good because like at United there's more pressure. There's more rise. So
Mm.
sure you're gonna want to train more. I know you're getting a bigger pay packet at United, but like, I see him in videos with Rashford. I doubt he's that different in terms of personality to some of the other United guys. Like, I don't know. Okay, Lindelof might be a great pro, but like, I don't know. I don't look at that United team and think, wow, so everyone who's starting on that pitch, like absolute pro. Sancho though,
Casemiro probably.
Casemiro, yeah, probably,
I'm,
but
I'm, and Bruno as well. I think Bruno is a top professional in terms of. I could imagine he gives 100% every training session, every game, etc. I could imagine that's the way it is. But with I don't know. There's a mystery with Sancho, and maybe you just need to go Saudi, bro.
yeah, maybe to be fair.
Get that bag.
Maybe, bro. I don't know, man, because right here, United is just looking. I want to, you know what? At this point, I feel bad. Like when I see that troops meme and all that, I feel
Same.
bad. Like I actually do want him to get a bit of form, whether it's at United or somewhere else, because
Mm.
seeing talent go like that is really it's bad, man.
I
Uh,
agree, and I don't like bullying, man. And this is why I'll always stick up for Maguire. I don't like bullying, and I don't like when people don't actually make up their own minds. They just kind of go with it because it's going to get them retweets or it's the fashionable thing to say or whatever.
yeah,
But this is why I always stick up for these guys who people don't like because I just think it's bullying, bro.
yeah,
But that being said, at the end of the day, he's in charge of his own destiny and he needs to be responsible for that.
yeah, man. So overall, it's another like I don't know, it's another situation at Man United where questions asked of the manager, questions asked of the owner, questions asked of the players. International break now probably come at the best time, I'd say, for United.
Yeah, the soap opera will still continue though until they're gone. The soap opera will continue. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
and
Yeah.
And look, sorry to interrupt you there. People will say, and rightfully so, they spent a lot of money. True. But you have to look at the common denominator here.
Mm.
They've tried now so many different managers, so many different ways of football, so many different ideas. They've got a director of football now. The same things are happening. These guys either don't want to win or they're just cursed. Maybe both.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Because
yeah.
there's a factor there where yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying you just need something to like big to shift in that club. And if it's the owners to go, maybe it's that. Because I mean, we saw it with Liverpool. I think they got rid of is it Gillette? Is it Hicks and Gillette? I don't
Hicks
know.
and Gillette.
And it took a bit of time, but the club did feel a bit different. They got Brendan Rodgers 3 years later, got a bit of success there, and then Klopp. And then Arsenal, the change we had was Josh Kroenke started to come to the fore. And then we got Edu. We tried a few. We tried Mislintat. We tried Sanelli. And then with Edu, we've struck gold with Edu Arteta and Kroenke. But United haven't really had that. They haven't really had like any of the Glazers come to the fore. Yeah, you've changed managers, but nothing culturally has really shifted with United. And to be fair, when Gary Neville says the things about changing the stadium, freshen up the club, I hear it completely because Carrington hasn't had work in God knows how long. Ronaldo said that. And yeah, I guess that all comes from the top. That all comes from the Glazers. News this week is that they've taken their taken club not for sale now.
Mm.
Not for sale.
Well, Neville said at the weekend he doesn't believe it for a second.
Yeah.
And just another point as well, right? How the fuck are they not in line with FFP?
Yeah.
This is the biggest club in England we're talking about. This is one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? This is an institution that makes 500, 600, 700 million pounds a year.
Mm.
How are they not in line with financial fair play? I think that is complete and utter mismanagement at all levels.
Has to be,
At
yeah.
all levels. And as Neville said, the club's still for sale because they're desperate for money and they've run out of money in terms of what they can spend. They've run out of being able to borrow credit from the bank. Literal credit from the bank. They've run out of that. They can't do that anymore now because the club's credit scoring is that bad. They've got that much money to repay. They just can't. So it's either they sell now or they run the business into the ground more than it already has been. So if they're smart businessmen like they're supposed to be, they're billionaires, so they have to be, right? If they're smart businessmen like they're supposed to be, like they should be, they sell the club now while they can get 5, 6, 7 billion, rather than being greedy, trying to get 10 billion and in turn driving the business into the ground. So maybe there's some degree of truth in the report. I think it's to try and force the hand of the Qataris to give them even more money than what they've already offered.
Yeah, must be that. Is what's Jim Ratcliffe saying? Is he still lurking the race or not really? I'm not really.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to call a billionaire a broke boy, but
yeah, I know.
I don't think he's got. Well, I don't think anyone in the world has the money that the Qataris have. So, yeah.
They're comparable to when Daniel Ek tried to get Arsenal.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite happy.
Trying to pull together like 30 different men to put their funds in.
Imagine that happened. Imagine we changed and Henri and Bergkamp are like running the club. I mean, yeah. Henri is not showing signs of a great manager. Bergkamp's, I don't know what Bergkamp actually does these days, to be fair.
Probably at Ajax somewhere.
Yeah, I know obviously his daughter's going out with Van der Beek. Van der Beek, where's he? But,
it was meant to be joining Luton. I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, true. No idea. But United, Arsenal, that's kind of it. I mean, that's we have to talk about other clubs because this isn't the United Arsenal show, this is Premier League. And yeah, I guess all the other results were kind of expected. But 4 games in, who's impressing you so far? Obviously, Man City, impressing everyone. But what? Yeah, is anyone really impressing you so far yet?
Yeah, Tottenham, mate. Big
Tottenham.
ends, mate.
Yeah.
Do you live in the real world, mate?
Yeah, that down on the sauce has them cooking, unfortunately. And yeah, Kane gone as well, and it's kind of
Mm,
it's made them a more fluid team in general. It's not just
yeah,
on Kane and inshallah. It's actually, you saw Son there getting a hat trick. James Madison's looking unbelievable at the moment. Got Udogi in the back, Van der
yeah.
Ven. Really shrewd signings, man. Like you can tell the club is actually like Solomon as well had a good cameo on the weekend. The club's kind of actually,
Yeah.
getting profiles right in terms of this
It
rebuild.
fe- it feels like Tottenham again.
Yeah.
Um, Especially with that cup exit last week.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
That's what I thought.
yeah, it feels like Tottenham again. You know, they're when they're playing against the smaller teams and then occasionally nick a result against the big teams, they'll be in and around the top four, top three, maybe top two, but they won't win anything. But they play lovely football and they're the beautiful losers. And look, I think Tottenham fans understand their place in the world. I know they'd probably kill for a trophy, but I think Ange suits them. You know, he's reminds me in terms of his character. He's like a Harry Redknapp. He's cheeky, gets on with the media. He knows how to have a joke. You know, he has a laugh and plays nice football. And it's a bit different. It's a bit hipster. It's a bit cool. A bit like what Spurs are. That's what Spurs should be. So look, Kane's gone. Um, Ridiculous from Levy not to replace him. Really, I mean, in terms of not invest that money on the front line. I mean, the only forward they've brought in is Mana Solomon, which is crazy. But
I don't
it
know.
feels like, huh?
Because they got, I mean, Son's cooked at wing, but up front, I don't know. I feel like that can work. And they've got Richarlison as well. They spent 60 million on him. I feel like you kind of have to roll with that.
Yeah,
And
he's not it though, is he?
nah, he's not it. He's not it. But like 100 mil in this market, who are you going to get to replace Kane up front?
Colomwani or something like that. I don't know. His
Yeah,
heart's probably set on
yeah.
PSG, but what I'm saying is Spurs could have got two or three good players with the money they spent,
Mm.
but they got for Kane.
So yeah, another team who look to just be going in circles. It's Chelsea. Spoken so much about them last season, and there was so much promise in the summer with Chelsea. New manager coming in, and you've got these players finally settled, finally having a preseason to gel with each other. But it's the same results, 1-0 to Forest. And look, mind you, Forest, you have to look at their squad now and say it's a good squad.
Yeah, man.
If that squad's in like the Serie A, they're probably pushing Europe. Or
Probably, yeah.
yeah, if they're in League and they're probably pushing PSG for the title, honestly. But like still, Chelsea Football Club, man, big name. You should be beating Forest at home. I say though, it's early days, but he hasn't had the best starts. He hasn't had the best of starts. Two failed comps already for him. Endo Fernandes,
Poor guy, man.
yeah, poor guy. Looks like he's doing it all on his own at the moment. Nicholas Jackson, Miss Jackson, can't hit a barn door.
Besides Jackson. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nico Jackson, he just can't finish, man. Just can't finish. Chelsea,
Yeah.
what's the issue with Chelsea?
So I don't know what it is recently about Chelsea, yeah, but it just seems like every player they sign sinks off. Like
Yeah,
even with Jackson, yeah, he does everything right other than score. It's like Timo Werner all over again.
yeah,
Does everything right other than
literally.
score. And then like they sign Kunku and he just gets injured.
Yeah,
Mudryk comes and plays like flipping Neymar on his debut, and then since then is moving like fucking Jermaine Pennant, bro.
honestly.
Um, so I don't know, man. And then Madueke like plays like he's wearing jeans, so they're Sterling. They've now got Sterling, and Sterling's playing all right, but then they've got Enzo playing like as a number 10 or
Yeah,
whatever role that is. To be fair, Gallagher's been all right. I don't know what Casado, like 110 million for me. You gotta, if you're a midfielder and you're 100 million, you gotta be doing what Bellingham's doing. You gotta be scoring goals. You gotta be everything's gotta be exceptional.
Yeah.
That's a £100 million midfielder.
Yeah.
Not Enzo, great footballer, amazing, but 100 million's crazy. Same
Yeah.
as for Casado. 100 million for Casado is even more crazy. £200 million on a midfield, and between them isn't complete. The two
Yeah.
of them together aren't complete.
No, you haven't got to sit there.
You haven't got a sitter there. You haven't got someone who scores a goal there. You haven't got someone who can play a killer pass. Like Enzo's great with the verticals.
Mm.
But you don't have like you don't have an Odegaard or a Bruno with a killer pass there, or a KDB.
Mm.
You don't have a dribbler. Um, it's really really strange how Todd Bowley and the rest of them have sanctioned all of these deals where I don't know. It's really weird because it's £1 billion, but the squad's not any better than what it was before they spent all that money.
No, yeah, it's not. They got Lavia still to play, and he's gonna. You just know, unfortunately, that something's gonna be off there as well.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to put it down to. I do look at that squad. Every time I see the 11 come out, I'm just like, I'm not scared. Like this is so.
No, neither.
There's nothing. I'm like, I don't know where the goal. If the goals come in, might come from Sterling, but I can't guarantee it's going to come from him. If not him, I don't know who's getting me a goal for Chelsea. Yeah, they might be right at the back. You know, Colwell, he's looking unreal in the Euros, and he's been looking suspect in all 4 games.
I don't get it though, because they're playing Colwell at left back,
Yeah,
and then they're playing Chilwell at left wing,
yeah,
and then they're shoehorning Thiago Silva at 57 years old.
yeah,
And then because they're shoehorning Silva, they then have to play Disaster or whatever his name is as well,
yeah,
Darcy.
yeah.
And then they're playing. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And I
Nah,
mean, like, I rate Poch as a coach, but surely, something suggests to me that since he's playing that system,
mm,
he either doesn't trust Colwell defensively,
mm.
or he doesn't trust any of the centre backs in a back four, or both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's definitely the latter. He doesn't trust the defenders in the back four because I know Poch played a bit of free at the back of Tottenham, but I don't have him as a free at the back manager.
No, he's not.
That's too cool. That's Conte. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We saw with Chelsea last season, free at the back don't work. For the back, I think that's what I'd go with if I was Chelsea. But as you said, then none of those defenders. You got Silver's still good, to be fair. I think he could play in the back too. Silver and Colwell, I don't know, I'll just play that. But Dodzi,
But
I mean,
then,
he looks all right as well.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. But for me, I also think he doesn't trust Chilwell much as a defender, because
Oh yeah.
even when they're playing the five,
Mm.
Chilwell's very, very advanced. He's not a traditional wing back. He's basically playing like a left winger.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me, because surely then you just play Mudryk, or you play Madueke, or you play one of the other 7 million wonder kids they've signed.
Mm.
It doesn't really make sense to me. Um, but also, how can you spend a billion and you've ended up with the Sarsia centre back?
Yeah.
You've ended up with Sterling playing on the right. You've ended
Yeah.
up with Jackson up front. You've ended up with Enzo playing on the left, but then as a 10 as well. It doesn't make sense.
Nah.
It doesn't make sense.
Nah. And I think this is how it's gonna be for them this season, a couple wins here, a couple losses there. Maybe I said at the start of the season, if Chelsea finish top 10, they've done well. Money spent, they should be getting top. They should be challenging for the title. Like, let's not make a mistake about it. If you're going, if the game is spend more money and you get more success, then Chelsea should be challenging Man City. And I did hear a bit of a rhetoric around this season that Chelsea will be back amongst in the top four, no Europe. And look, it's early days. It's only 4 games. But I just don't see the tools for it to gel. Like, honestly, I see tools for United to kick on and go top four. Certain man are saying United ain't gonna get top 8. I mean, I'll be shocked if United don't get top 6. To be honest.
I'll be
Uh,
shocked if they don't get top four, all in all, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the game against Brighton will be interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I'll be shocked again if they don't get top four with Foden coming in. But yeah, Chelsea, man, it's I don't know what I'd even add to that. I mean, I look at that the whole squad now. I'm like, it's just kind of just frazzles my mind. I don't know what I would. They've just got proven quality. Like I like Cole Palmer a lot. I've sung his praises a lot, but I think the same thing that's happened to Mudryk is probably going to happen to him. Um, just
It's crazy because he's got one Premier League start and he's now gone for 45 million. No other club in the world is paying 45 million for a guy with one Premier League start. I'm sorry.
really, flipping hell,
Yeah,
that's bad. I mean, he's a good talent, great talent, in fact. But yeah, 40. I just think the way he was signed, as I said to you in the chat, 2 o'clock, Chelsea are interested in Cole Palmer. 8 o'clock, they've signed him, and it's 3 games in. It just shows they didn't plan to do it. It's a panic buy.
yeah.
When you've already got Madueke there. So yeah, they need the international break definitely. I don't think many of their players are going away. I'm not sure. So
They need
maybe,
sign, bro. They need sign.
yeah, they do. They do. But yeah, 1-0 loss for them. Obviously, as we are from Luton Town, we have to do Luton Watch this week. Luton played West Ham, who are surprisingly 10 points out of 12. Great start for them using Declan Rice, but they replaced him well. You were at the game?
Yep.
Yeah, you were at the
Yep.
game. I'll give my thoughts on the game quick. I think honestly, the application from Luton is absolutely there. I saw a lot of Luton fans after the game having a go at Ross Barkley. Look, I get it. You got to come over and come to fans. You got to do
That's
that.
the most Luton thing to be annoyed about ever, you know.
It is like, come on, man. He didn't have a bad game. He was all right with the little ball that he did have. He was all right. But yeah, application was there from Luton. Just and the Luton won in the next G, so Luton had the better of the chances. Um, but yeah, Luton just got to find a way of just keeping it ticking a little bit better, I think. Not necessarily being a mad possession team, but like just either that or Adebayo up front. He chases well, but he doesn't really hold it up that well. Carl Morris is doing all right. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts from it. It wasn't 2-1 against West Ham, who are flying right now. So it's not the worst
Yeah,
result. I do think Friday night under the lights first game, it was a bit of an opportunity for Luton to steal one. And
I agree.
at the end there, we could be talking about a penalty, 2-2, great result. But
Oh, it's a stone fucking wall, bro.
Stonewall pen, even yeah.
It's a stone wall.
I thought it was a pen as well. I mean, his hands above, like not a natural position. Hands.
If that's at Old Trafford, that's a pen.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
So,
I don't know why that wasn't a pen. I mean, we discussed it in the group chat. Metham had one similar one. I was not gonna say exact similar one against Arsenal last season. Wasn't a pen. So maybe that is the law, but I don't know. I don't
What's the
really.
law, though? What's the law? Because
I
I swear the
don't.
law is meant to change this year. I
Look,
swear it changes every year. I swear every
I don't
season
know.
there's a new handball law.
I don't know. I've always known the handball is if your arm's in an unnatural position and it touches the ball, it's a foul. It's infringement.
That's what I'm saying. It's been like that since I was 1 year old, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
and
why has it changed?
yeah, it should never change because now I don't really know what a handball is unless the guy picks the ball up and just
Yeah.
doesn't continue. I don't know what handball is. So that should have been a pen. And then again, 2-2, you're talking about Luton get their first point, 2 goals in the game, win on XG.
Come back from 2-0 down, grinded out a result.
Yeah. But I don't know. West Ham, I don't know. You did always, after Luton had a great start, but I did always feel as the game drifted, West Ham will just get 1 or 2. And they had this goal disallowed themselves. But yeah, as a Luton fan and as someone who went to the game, what do you make of the game?
First of all, I was proud of the lads because I don't think there was a single player on the pitch who didn't give 100%. And that includes Ross Barkley. I mean, he didn't clap at the end of the. He clapped a little bit. He didn't do the lap of honor at the end of the game. Which look, someone's gonna have a word with him at the club and tell him that doesn't run. Fair enough. We brush it under the carpet. That's fine. He's a new signing. He's not going to get the ethos of things once he's played for big clubs throughout his whole career. These things are minor at big clubs. At the smaller clubs where the way we've been built as a club and the ethos of the club, you clap the fans whether you win 4-0, whether you lose 7-0. You do a clap, right? You go around the pitch and you clap the fans. That's the standard. And look, I get people's frustration, but we tend to have this thing in our fan base where we make a mountain out of a molehill, and it is a molehill. There's no need to make a big deal out of it. In terms of the quality he possesses on the ball, I don't think without him we stay up. Just in terms of the options we've got, I think Sandy will be a really good addition because look, people can say he's not done amazing at Arsenal, which he hasn't. He didn't do great on loan at Palace, which he didn't. But it's someone who's calm on the ball. It's someone who has played in games where there's a lot of pressure to perform. He's been brought up around possession managers, in company and stuff like that. So he's calm on the ball. He's a Belgium international, so it will add that quality that I think we need. I think it was two really silly goals to concede once again. I mean, that James Ward-Prowse corner, I had the perfect view of it. I was sitting right in the corner. It was an amazing ball in, but Zuma shouldn't have a free header there. But I mean, that ball was asking to be headed in, man. It was so perfect. The way, the backspin, the way the ball was spinning, the way it was a perfect height for someone to jump up and head it. Like, it was unbelievable. Seeing that live, man, like on TV, it didn't do it any justice. Like, bro, it was
some of the best you've seen at the Kenny.
Like, I think in terms of a ball in terms of a cross into the box, that's probably the best cross I've ever seen into the box at the Kenny. It was ridiculous, and people around me didn't think it was. But like in terms of like being a midfielder myself back in the day and like taking corners and free kicks, like that is where you want it. Penalty spot, perfect weight, perfect height, perfect backspin, amazing, and he does that so consistently. And Zuma, look, we were giving him stick, rightfully so. Scored. Bowen, we were giving him stick. I'm not sure why. Seems like a genuinely really, really nice guy. After the game in his interview, like he was so nice, like complimented the club and stuff like that. So, look, I understand the whole Zuma stuff. Fez, man booted his cap. Like, yeah. Bowen is just a family man who's got a missus and had a kid, like, and it just so happens that his wife is famous. That ain't really anyone's fault. Well, in fact, there's nothing to be at fault for. Like, it's just he's a normal guy. So yeah, we need to stop doing that because it's extremely tin pot. And I'm not gonna lie, I did chant as well. But when you're in the stadium, you do these things. I thought in terms of our performance, look, it wasn't short of fight. I think Alfie Doughty was fantastic. I think Anderson was decent. Amari Bell was poor. I thought Chong, I mean, I've seen some Luton fans saying he was good. I thought he was terrible. And look, he does a lot of good work off the ball, but I mean, I don't like him centrally because I just think it's too crowded. And he has to take too many touches, and I'd prefer it if he could just run in a straight line.
What do you do about that? They 4-4-2 or because just like a back 4-5 is the way I'm gonna go.
I mean, the way it is now, with Sambi that I personally, Edwards won't do it. I personally would go to a 4-2-3-1. I'd have Kaminsky in goal. I'd have Kabore at right back. I'd probably have Bell at left back because there's someone a bit more defensive at left back rather than Giles or Doughty. Or you play Giles and Doughty and you go for it. You do one of the two and you go for it and you play Kabore right back. Probably Doughty right now. Although Giles had a better game than the previous two. And then you go Sambi and Nakamba. You have them, breaking things up and doing some passes. I'd have Barkley in number 10. I'd have Morris up front, and then I'd probably have Ogbene or Brown on the wing, and then Chong on the wing. Just because I think teams who are at the lower end of the table, they really need their wide men, whether that's fullbacks or wingers, they really need them to produce that bit of quality. And I just don't think with the way we're playing, crowding the middle so much, when there's so much quality in this league, through the middle I don't think it's the way to go. And I think the way teams leave their fullbacks quite exposed, a lot of teams, not saying West Ham did because they didn't, but a lot of teams leave their fullbacks exposed. I think it would be better for us if we could exploit that by doubling up. We might concede a few more goals or concede a few more chances, but we're always going to concede goals. The problem is going to be scoring goals because I expect to concede goals, but we need to find a way of scoring. And just because you've got one less defender on the pitch doesn't mean you're going to be worse at defending, because that one extra midfielder, people don't realise this with football, but sometimes having that extra midfielder gives you more control.
Yeah.
Same way, maybe sometimes an extra defender gives you more control. Just the way it goes. Sometimes these things balance each other out. So I think we've got to try something. I think the home game against the away game against Fulham, probably stick to what we know. But that home game against Wolves, I would play a 4-2 for them because they look really vulnerable at the back.
Yeah.
And they don't look like they can score that many goals either. So I'm not too worried that they'll score more than one or two. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a game Luton should be looking to win, to be honest. Wolves at
The
home.
next three, to be honest, Fulham away, Everton away, and Wolves at home.
Yeah. Fulham, got battered against City. If they got Palhinha in there, different side. Wolves, Everton. Yeah, I mean that'll be an indicator of how Luton are going to do this season. I think those games.
I think we need 5 points from those three, personally,
to have confidence of staying up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a proper staying up battle for Luton. Like, it's literally, I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen a team where it's like, but like when Luton get that first win, it's gonna be like, wow, like it's gonna be an upset. I've never I haven't seen it in the Prem, but obviously that just shows the magnitude of the achievement it is in the Premier League itself. But yeah, that's Luton watch done. And just quickly, well, because you're wearing the shirt, it's a very nice shirt. I need to get one of them myself.
Cold, man, so cold.
Yeah. Messi watch. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this Messi spell, to be fair. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, same.
Because look, it's nice to see him enjoying football, whether it's MLS or not. It's 2023. We have to start respecting these non-European leagues, clearly. But yeah, 11 games undefeated for Messi. I think 3-1 win. He hasn't scored in 2 games, so not great. I'm joking. But yeah, I still can't get over that pass he did.
Bro, that was the most ridiculous.
I can't get over that pass, bro. I don't know what the team was, whether it was Nashville or whoever it was.
I don't care.
The best pass I've seen in my life.
Bro, he could have been playing Dunstable Town. I don't give a fuck, bro. That pass was insane. It's mad.
He made the guy run, bro. He made whoever the right back was run. And then, like, it's crazy. Just see that. Like, he must be so. This sounds so stupid. He must be so good at football, bro. Like, what? Like, bro, if he was playing, like, oh my days, man. And obviously, he's got all these celebs coming to watch him. It's sick, man. It's sick. It's like people coming to watch. I don't want to be blasphemous here. It's like people coming to watch something supernatural, bro. Like,
yeah. Well, it's kind of like an American equivalent. It's kind of like someone going to watch LeBron.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, they're going to watch the best of the best. And in terms of soccer, America have never had the best of the best, like the undefined best ever play in their league. They've not even really had anyone who, I mean, the closest they've come to that's Beckham. They've never had like a serious GOAT in that league. So look, there's a market there that's untapped, and I think Messi, especially in terms of La Latina, he's kind of bringing that out. And I think the choice of club really suits him, because if he would have gone to like New York Red Bulls or LA Galaxy, I don't think it would have been anywhere near as fashionable. But in terms of Miami as a city, like the cold black kits and the pink kits. It feels right, bro.
It does.
And he's smiling again as well, which is
Yeah.
great.
And he's still maintaining a good level of playing. So, still expect him to see him in these tours for Argentina. He's still got a lot more to do in the game. But yeah, man, it's a sick spell. I need to actually probably try and catch a game. Maybe.
Yeah, for real, fam. I was thinking this.
Yeah, even try and go there. But
yeah, have you watched any Saudi league?
I'll keep up with Saudi League, but I don't really. No, I'll see it actually on my Instagram. Yeah, I saw there was a mad game the other day. I think Al Etihad lost 3-4 against Al Hilal.
Oh yes, I seen that. It wasn't against Al Hilal. It was against El Fateh or something.
Yeah, Benzema's team against Neves' team.
Oh, okay, okay, no. You're on about that game. You're on about that game. Yeah. Okay, no. I hear you. Yeah. There was
Yeah,
another game where
Mitrovic got a hat trick, I think.
yeah.
Is Mitrovic Al Hilal?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've low key got a cold team, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Low key.
Wait, Al Nassr now have a cold team, bro. I can't lie. Mane and Ronaldo. Ronaldo's actually banging goals, and
Yeah, he is.
they got Laporte at the back now, so they ain't just playing next man at the back because at the start they was just finding any man at the back, bro, signing their strikers, but they're actually squad building now. So yeah, man. No, I need to catch a. I need to catch a Saudi League game as well.
Might even have to head out there still.
Yeah, honestly, man. Honestly, with all these flipping fights and like sports gonna be there soon in 5 years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, when Neymar has his debut, I don't think Neymar's had his debut yet. I will be interested in that one for sure.
Man's just casually collecting like 100 million and not playing a game.
Honestly, it's mad. It's mad because now Champions League looks kind of just a bit empty now. I'm looking at
Yeah, there was no excitement in that draw whatsoever. I can't lie. There was no. Yeah, I didn't like United Bayern. I'm like, okay, yeah, great. Then like Newcastle's group. Do you know what? I take it back. That group excites me because it's for PSG. They're PSG. They're going to be good. Like in terms of they might not be the best, but in terms of Newcastle, Milan, Dortmund, for footballing perspectives and fan perspectives, it's such interesting games, man.
Nah, proper, man. That's one of the best groups I've seen in a while. But everything else is flipping average, bro. Like that Arsenal.
Yeah, it is.
Of course, it's good we've got an easy group because like PTSD from times we had like I don't know PSG Bayern Munich, but yeah, this is literally worse than my Europa League group last year. So
yeah, it's true. The question is though, who is gonna win the tifo off, Dortmund or Newcastle? Who's gonna have the best tifo display?
Definitely, no one outdoes Dortmund, bro. Oh, I don't know. Newcastle will go some of their games, bro. Like
They go ham on the tifos, bro.
You do, bro. So that's gonna be crazy. I don't know. It'll be interesting what ground it goes harder at. I reckon it will be a sight before that St. James's Park game. Look, I don't know. They've not had the great start of the season. I hope they go through, but
who do you think's gonna win it? The whole competition.
League. I think
you can't say Man City.
Yeah, like you can't say Man City. So
because it probably will be them. And
yeah,
allow it, man. They're so.
You know what? We've Arsenal have the squad, but we're just so crap at knockout football. I can't back us. Man United, if they get out of the group stage, but I've got a feeling I wouldn't be surprised if United don't get out of the group stage. They're just funny like that. So
yeah, true. Galatasaray will come second.
Yeah, so you're left with Bayern Munich. You're left with Real Madrid. Oh, it could be Real Madrid. Bro.
It could be Bellingham is him, bro.
Bellingham's him, man. Again, another guy. I tried doubting him. Why do I do this, bro? I tried doubting.
Yeah, I tried doubting him as well, bro.
Like, if Real Madrid signed you for 100 million, you're a flipping baller, fam. Like,
yeah,
especially for English brother as well, fam. Like,
they might have scarred from English brothers as well. They're not slapping 100 mil on anyone who's English unless they're worth it.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I'm gonna go PSG.
Oh,
yeah, PSG.
I feel it, man.
Yeah, man. Got Mbappe on his own now, right? Kolo Muani, him had a
They've got the
great.
Francois vibes.
Yeah, you got a sweeping up in the middle. He's a bit average, but whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
PSG though now are doing what they should have done 10 years ago, and they're sweeping the French talent.
yeah,
They've got
exactly.
Colomwani, Dembele, Bakola,
Mm,
um, Mbappe, obviously. Um,
he's still there.
yeah. So they're doing what they should have done 10 years ago, and I think it's gonna feel a lot more authentic now.
Yeah,
In terms of the way instead of just signing superstars, trying to be Real Madrid too much. You can't be Real Madrid if you're not Real Madrid, bro. They're the only ones who can get away with being Real Madrid. So yeah, they're feeling a bit more authentic now. So I hear that shout.
yeah.
Um, but
English teams are strong though. Well, Arsenal, 'cause I'm thinking over 2 legs. Like, I do fancy us, man, but on paper at least.
mm, I feel like because United's transitional threat,
Mm,
they can do well.
mm,
But I just think the Bernabeu will be too much for them. And if they get like an Arsenal or a City, I feel like the away leg will
mm,
be a bit too much for them.
yeah.
Um, and Bayern, I think if Bayern would have got Palinha, I'd have fancied them because the balance of the team's so much better. Although I think he's great at one singular job.
Mm,
I don't think he's an amazing footballer. I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's Rodri. I don't think he's Rice. I don't think he's whoever. But I think at the sole job of stopping the ball
mm.
going to the other team strikers, he's amazing at. So I feel like if they had Palinha, I would say Bayern Munich. And since I can't say Man City, I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'll go Bayern.
Yeah, that's a smart choice, to be honest. Imagine, and then how good would that be for Kane? You know, not one trophy in your career, and you most likely finish with a treble because they probably will win the Bundesliga
Yeah.
and the other cup as well. Yeah, you've gone Bayern, I've gone PSG. I don't know if we get it right, we can win the Champions League easily. Like our squad,
The hope that kills you, bro.
it's the hope that kills us. But yeah, it is something about when we go Europe, man. Like even Europa last season, like bro, we struggled every game. So
Sporting Lisbon, you know.
yeah, honestly, man, we got you got his move to PSG, bro, from that game, bro. I swear. But
Yeah, it's true.
yeah. Anyway, man, that's kind of it for this week.
I'll wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back definitely. International break, we're gonna do something special for sure. If you've made it to the end, please give us a like. Please follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We love the support you guys are showing. That Ronaldo clip went crazy. So, if you engage with that clip,
Bro.
and yeah, man, it's been good to be back here again. And until next time, that's a wrap. See you guys later. Take care.
Yeah.